Chapter 6, where Team Purple has some trouble. Sinister Woods was darker than most of the forests Mo knew. Way darker. And he knew it will become even more darker the further they traveled. The treetops almost let no speck of light through. Trees as far as the eye can see, and they weren't even on level 3 yet. "Aaron?" Mo asked. "Where do we need to go again?" "Which level?" Aaron checked the map. "Level 7. And we are on level 2 right now." "Still?" Mo was already done with the day and it was still in the morning. "Does Charlotte even know where we are going?" "She's our leader now," Aaron reminded him. "I just realized that she has her eyes closed all the time," Mo said, angry. "You were okay with her being our leader 15 minutes ago," Aaron told him, annoyed. "If you want to be our leader?" Charlotte stopped, turned around and gave them a mean look. "You know where we need to go, right?" Mo asked. Charlotte gave him a thumb up, turned back around and continued rolling through the woods. For Mo, Charlotte was now even more strange than Aaron was. And that meant something for him. "I think we were here before," said Mo. "This place looks like every other place in here," Aaron explained to him. "I swear, we walked past this rock there a few minutes ago." "We walk in circles, Charlotte," Mo told. "No we didn't," tried Aaron to explain further. "This is just another rock that's—" "You're right. I remember this rock. I can already see it. We got lost on your first mission and now they have to send another team to get us and that bag," Mo whined. "I bet it will be that one witch, that Pikachu." Aaron suddenly looked behind Mo. "Who is that?" Mo and Charlotte turned around. An Oddish was running directly towards them. Towards Mo. Aaron looked at Mo, who was staring at that Oddish coming his way, standing still like being frozen. He did something similar once, when a Raiden mistook Mo for a Pikachu friend the Raiden knew. He almost crushed Mo underneath him that day. The Oddish jumped into the air, suddenly spitting purple goo out of its mouth. Mo reacted just in time and dashed to the side. The goo landed in front of Aaron's feet, where Mo just was a second ago, disintegrating the grass on that place. That Oddish meant business. "You will not hurt my friends or me," shouted Aaron at the Oddish. "I beat Pokémon bigger than you." Aaron dashed very quickly at the Oddish, ramming it with his head. The Oddish flew back and rolled on the ground, standing again on its feet shortly after. As it prepared its next attack, Mo ran past Aaron towards the Oddish, his claw already glowing with dark energy. He hit the Oddish with a quick slash, who once again flew back. Pieces of its leaf flew around as it landed face first on the ground. Mo turned around, back to Aaron and Charlotte. "All right then. We can move on now." Aaron suddenly seemed terrified. "Mo, you should look behind you," he said, pointing with one ribbon. Behind Mo gathered at least 24 of Oddish, all staring angry at the group. Mo looked back at his teammates. "Retreat." Charlotte rolled away as fast as she could in the opposite direction where the Oddish were coming, followed by Mo. Aaron still stood there, using his fairy wind against the many Oddish. This move had little effect on the Oddish. Mo yelled at him to come with them. And so he did. While Aaron managed to keep up with Mo and Charlotte, the Oddish were right behind them, spitting acid at them. "Fairy moves doesn't work at them." "Because poison," Mo explained to Aaron. "That's the only range move I've got," said Aaron. "How about your Thunder Shock?" "Same. Electric and plant." "No other range moves?" "I've got Shadow Claw, Thunder Shock, Wooden Hammer and Astonish." "What about Charlotte?" Charlotte just kept rolling, and rolling for her life. "I've got an idea," said Mo. "Open your bag." Aaron opened the bag he was carrying and Mo started searching inside it. He then pulled out a fistful of seeds. He then jumped on Aaron's back and started throwing the seed at the Oddish. The random seeds he threw either made a small explosion, making some oddish fall asleep or making the dizzy. "Man, I love those seeds," said Mo. Shortly after the chase came to a stop, as Team Purple reached a small cliff. It reached about 16 feet down. The team decided to hide behind a huge rock near the edge. There were now even more oddish than before surrounding them. Also Mo noticed he used all the seeds they had. In desperation, Mo jumped on top of the rock and used his thunder shock. It hit only one oddish and it didn't took much damage from it, just making this one even more angry. Back behind the rock, Mo turned to Aaron and pointed to his bag. "I know this is unlikely, but do we have a white flag in there? I'm out of options and would like to go home now." "There is another option," Aaron said and pointed at the edge. "It's not that high and we just have to land right. I did this before." "When?" asked him Mo angry. Charlotte rolled towards and off the edge and kept rolling as she landed, now waiting for the others. "Now go," Aaron said to Mo and jumped down as well, landing next to Charlotte in a bush. Mo looked down. It seemed very high for him, but either this or the oddish behind him. Mo let himself fall off the edge. He could see the ground come nearer and nearer very fast. Then everything turned dark. Silence. Mo was lying on the grass with his head on the ground and his arms spread out of his disguise. He looked like roadkill, flat and lifeless. Aaron and Charlotte looked at him in silence. "Very athletic, Mo," said Aaron. Mo finally stood up. Only his right arm was hurting a bit and he was happy he made it and nothing worse happened. He then saw Aaron, with a horrified expression. He seemed truly scared. "Don't tell me, they're onto us again," said Mo. "It's your head," Aaron explained. The fall damaged Mo's cloth. There was a big slash on Mo's fake head. Dark fog leaked out of it. Mo held it with his claw, trying to close it. He was not very happy about. He felt embarrassed, seeing his friend terrified by his true form. "It's not so bad," Mo tried to explain to Aaron and Charlotte, even though he knew it wasn't true. "I can fix this later myself. It's fine. Let's move on." Charlotte rolled to Aaron and started searching for something in his bag. She pulled out a small first aid kit and took a sticking plaster. She rolled over to and put it on the damaged spot, sealing it. Thank you," Mo said to her. Mo had problems to be truly thankful to others sometimes. Sometimes it was just part of their job. Like how they, right now, were on a mission. But this time he really was. Neither Mo or Aaron remembered putting this kit in the bag. Was it Charlotte herself? Charlotte smiled at Mo, patted the now sealed place and rolled back, deeper into the woods. Aaron and Mo following behind her. "Do you think the oddish are still following us?" said Mo. "I hope not." They went deeper into the woods. They noticed it was getting darker and darker, the deeper they went. Luckily the missing bag was somewhere halfway in the dungeon. Mo didn't have a problem with dark places, more the opposite, but it was still hard to see. Especially with someone, Aaron, who was not used to live in the darkness. By now they were on level 6 of this dungeon. Along the way they encountered some more wild and aggressive Pokémon living here. They still were nothing in comparison to the oddish form before. At one point, a Sentret tried a surprise attack on them. Charlotte smacked the Sentret with her log so hard, it went down like a wooden board. At the moment, Mo was bored. Everything in this dungeon of a forest looked the same, and somehow and to Team Purple's own amazement they managed to get lost on every level. Because of that, Mo, once again, questioned Charlotte's sense of orientation, due to her having her eyes closed and being asleep since they met the first time. Because of a commentary of Mo about exactly this on level 4, Charlotte introduced Mo's face to her foot. Or at least she tried. Turns out, Mo was faster than her. "Can you stop eating our chesto berries?" Aaron told Mo. Mo was just eating another one of them. It was the fourth berry by now. But I like how they taste, Mo explained. You can have them at dinner time for sure. But I'm hungry now. Suddenly a Pokémon, about the same size as Mo, ran past them. It looked like a gray ditto with a screw nut on its head. It was waving with its tiny arms, screaming, "Out of my way!" over and over again. All three members of Team Purple very confused. They were looking at each other. They never saw a Pokémon like this before. Soon after, they found out what that guy was running away from. A large group of Oddish was standing in front of them now, looking angry at them. In that group, Mo recognized that one Oddish he and Aaron fought before the chase. The Oddish's leaves were in a bad shape after Mo's Shadow Claw attack. While Mo was thinking about how they will run away this time, a large Gloom stepped forward out of the group. "This is our territory," the Gloom said with a deep female voice. "Fellows," Aaron said. He seemed to be very nervous. "It's okay. I've met some of your people once before. We don't want to bother you. We're just looking for missing items and then we're off again." The group of Oddish were still looking at them angry. "Also, sorry about what happened before," Aaron added. The Gloom slowly shook her head and grinned. "We have no mercy for trespassers of any kind," she said. "And what about that Raticate?" Mo asked her. "He lost his bag somewhere here while spending the night and we only know about common wild Pokémon." The Gloom turned around to her group. "Did any one of you saw a Raticate here in the past few days?" Silence. "You can spot an wannabe Pikachu shortly after entering our dungeon, but not a fat rat who spent the night here?" The Gloom was angry at his own minions. "What's wrong with you?" "Boss," said one of the Oddish. "What?" "They're getting away." Gloom turned back around and Team Purple were running after them. Gloom yelled. She and the Oddish then noticed that Team Purple was coming back again, running at them. "What are they doing?" another Oddish wondered. Charlotte was rolling really fast towards the group of Oddish. A lot faster than her teammates. The Gloom opened her eyes in shock. "Roll out." Charlotte crashed into the Oddish group. Many Oddish fell over or flew through the air like bowling pins, leaving a path where she rolled though. Mo and Aaron ran past the still many Oddish, standing in surprise left and right. The Gloom could only watch as the team disappeared into the woods. They could hear her cursing as they ran and ran. A while later on level 7. "That was a great plan we had," bragged Aaron, who was tired from running. Mo, who was also tired, looked angry at him. "That was improvised. Pure luck." If that Gloom wasn't off guard. Mo saw something hanging on the branch of a tree. "Look, isn't that?" It was the missing bag form Raticate. "We did it, guys," Mo said happy. "We did it." Aaron took the bag off the branch. The bag seemed to be undamaged and had some weight to it. Heavier than the team's bag. "I think we can go home now?" Mo asked. Aaron nodded to him. "All right then," said Mo, still happy. "I'll just say it. Mission complete." Mo looked at Aaron and Charlotte. "How do we get home again?"